numbers: -40, 100, and 147. Those three numbers tell you the entire story of oil in the 21st century. And today, we are hovering around $100 per barrel because of war. The conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States has sent shockwaves through the global energy market. Oil prices surged nearly 20% in a single day. The global benchmark, Brent crude, jumped above $111 a barrel before settling lower. And the reason is simple: fear. Fear that the war could choke the world's most important oil artery, the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly one-fifth of the world's oil passes through this narrow strip of water. Now imagine missiles flying nearby, tankers avoiding the route, producers tightening supply. That is exactly what is happening. Countries like Iraq and Kuwait have already begun reducing production. Gas shipments from Qatar have been cut. And analysts say producers like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates could follow too. However, to understand why oil reacts so violently to war, we need to take a step back. Because the oil market has lived through some of the most dramatic swings in modern economic history. Let me take you back. 2008, the record breaking year. Oil prices reached their highest levels ever. On July 11 that year, Brent crude hit $147 per barrel. The US benchmark WTI also reached $147. What caused it? Strong demand from a rapidly growing China, falling oil inventories in the United States, and instability in major producers like Iran and Nigeria. But the rally didn't last. The global financial crisis hit, demand collapsed, and by December 2008, oil had crashed to around $36 a barrel. 2011, the Arab Spring shock. Political uprisings swept across the Middle East and North Africa. Governments fell in Tunisia, Egypt, and Yemen. Violence spread in Libya, which is a major oil producer. Markets panicked. Oil surged again, touching $127 per barrel. Because whenever instability hits oil producing regions, markets react instantly. 2012, sanctions and geopolitics. Western powers imposed sanctions on Iran over its nuclear program. Those restrictions targeted Iranian oil exports. Supply fears pushed prices back above $100, and they stayed there for nearly 2 years until something unexpected happened: America's shale revolution. The shale revolution transformed how the United States produces energy, unlocking vast reserves of oil and natural gas trapped deep inside shale rock through horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing. It is popularly known as fracking. This technique changed everything. Remember, that is exactly what Donald Trump was talking about on campaign trail. His now famous battle cry, "Drill Baby Drill," was a direct reference to this very technique that flooded markets with supply. So, in 2015, prices collapsed again, dropping below $50. But nothing compares to what happened next. In 2020, the year oil went negative. Yes, negative. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the world shut down. Flights stopped, factories closed, cars disappeared from roads. Demand for fuel collapsed overnight. At the same time, storage tanks were also full. So producers faced a bizarre problem. They had oil, but nowhere to put it. On April 20th, 2020, WTI crude fell to -$40 per barrel. Think about that. Producers were literally paying buyers to take oil away. Meanwhile, Brent crude dropped to just $15.98. It was one of the most surreal moments in commodity market history. Then the world reopened, demand returned, and in 2022, another war pushed prices up again. When Russia invaded Ukraine, sanctions targeted Russian energy. Oil surged back above $100 per barrel. At one point, Brent reached $139, but supply eventually stabilized and prices cooled. Now we are here again, another war, another shock to global energy markets. Now the G7 is considering releasing oil from strategic reserves, a move that tells you exactly how nervous the world's richest economies are right now. Few years ago, Mukesh Ambani told us that data is the new oil. Then recently they said silver is the new oil. But at the end of the day, oil is oil, and the world still runs on it.